Part 3, Differentiate and Dramatize. Lesson 6, Differentiate from the Competition. Some years back, a client of mine was creating a new chain of massage therapy clinics. When I asked, "How are you planning to be different?" he shrugged and answered, "No way, really. Can't we just be another burger, so to speak?" I did my best to talk him out of that, arguing that it would be hard to have standout marketing copy unless you were different in some way, and hard to persuade people to come in other than because of the location or price deals. The best time to define how you're different is before your launch, so you can bake a coherent branding difference into your marketing from the start. But you can also do this for a business or a product that's already up and running. I had a longtime client who was a marketing consultant for translation agencies, having once owned a successful translation agency herself. Although this might seem to be a really narrow niche, I was fascinated to see that in projects for 15 or 16 different translation agencies, she managed to come up with some angle that made each of them different from competitors. One specialized in legal translations, another said they were specialists in Latin America. Another had a unique guarantee. Another had a different pricing scheme. Another had a team approach that allowed them to finish translations faster than other companies, and so on. My job was to write the sales letter after she had formulated what marketers call the competitive advantage. With a different competitive advantage, it was easy to make all 15 or 16 letters sound different from one another, even though it was the same business service being pitched. Now, whether you're writing copy about something you know well because it's your own product or service, or on assignment for an outside client, you often have to scratch your head and figure out how the heck is this item distinctive. So here's a step-by-step method for figuring that out. Step 1. Hunt around for existing points of differentiation. Ask to read everything that they have about the offering. Get the client talking. Look at the marketing of competitors. Ask a lot of questions, all to try to come up with how the business is already different from competitors. Sometimes what you find out is surprising. When I moved to Massachusetts for a new job ages ago, I asked my new colleagues to recommend a dentist. One of them said, "Oh, you'll like Peter LeBand, who I go to. He plays classical music in his office and quotes Shakespeare to you." And indeed, I liked him well enough to stick with him until he retired. More than 30 years later, I've never run into another dentist like that. Suppose you discover a number of points of differentiation, let's say 3 or 4 of them. Decide which one or two are the most important. Those are the ones you're going to emphasize in your copy. The others you'll mention, but you won't make them the main theme. If we worked hard enough, we could probably come up with 15 or 16 different main themes for dentists. But here are a few. Environmentally sensitive, going above and beyond to prevent virus infection, something that was really important during the COVID pandemic, handling fearful people or kids sensitively, having hours, policies, and treatment methods that work for busy professionals, and so on. You want to make sure, of course, that what you select as a main theme fits the company, doesn't copy anyone else, and aims at a target market that's big enough for a sustainable business. Now, you might be asked to write copy for a product or company that's, as we said earlier, just another burger. In that case, in consultation with the client, you'll get best results from creating a differentiator. For example, Massage Envy is a chain of massage offices that offers a monthly subscription program, allowing you to feel your best all the time instead of just coming in when you're experiencing aches and pains or unbearable stress. That's quite distinct from another massage company that styles itself as a luxurious wellness resort. Next, if you haven't already done so, translate the features you plan to emphasize into benefits. For example, extended hours for a dental office is a feature. Let's say the office is open starting at 6 a.m. and stays open until midnight. Of course, they stagger the staff's working hours to make this practical. Take a moment and think how you might express the benefit of that. Well, probably the main benefit is that you wouldn't have to take time off from work to get your dental work done. I remember during Supreme Court confirmation hearings in 1991, then Senator Biden needed not one but two emergency root canals, and in order not to miss the hearings, he had the procedures done late at night, one at midnight and the other at 2 a.m. At the time, I had never heard of such a thing as late night dental work, and I found that absolutely amazing. Or, more generally, the benefit is that you get dental care done on your schedule, not the dentist's. That extended hours dental office probably makes good business sense in a high-powered big city or a smaller city where a lot of people do shift work, but probably not in a rural area where everything closes down by 8 o'clock at night. When I ran this course as a live class, I made the point that in a lot of instances, businesses start out thinking that element X is their ticket to fame and fortune, yet they slowly realize that what people really care about is element Y that they were barely conscious of providing. They then change their marketing to emphasize Y, and it might be something that you wouldn't expect to be an advantage. Someone in the class then spoke up and said she was a virtual assistant, and most people in her business told clients they took care of everything. I don't, she said. I just take care of marketing tasks, and I do that very, very well. Whereas the jack of all trades who say they do it all can't and don't do everything well. Clients are surprised to hear this, she said, but when they think about it, it makes good sense to them, and they hire her and pay more than the going rate for her services. Let's put this discussion to work now with an exercise. Download the exercise number 5 PDF, which is a letter Rebecca Maslin was using to expand her cleaning service. Jot down notes on first, the points of differentiation already mentioned or hinted at in her letter, and second, other points of differentiation that she might use for her cleaning service. Please do that and then come back for my comments. Did you do the Queen of Clean exercise? Good. The already mentioned points of distinction in the Queen of Clean letter are 1. Already in your neighborhood. 2. Featured in the Boston Globe. 3. In business there for 5 years. 4. Flexible frequency. 5. Free estimate. And 6. Implicitly, a small local company. What did you think of as possible additional points of difference? Bonded and insured. After all, the cleaning crew are probably going to be in your home. Next, do they do green cleaning using environmentally friendly supplies and methods? Also, maybe they do spot inspections of the cleaner's work with, say, a 25-point checklist. Possibly they offer specialized services on request, such as cleaning before or after a move. Let me add that although lots of copywriting experts talk up the concept of USP, a unique selling proposition, in my experience, you don't need a unique, that is, a one-of-a-kind difference or a set of differences to have a thriving business. So don't bother trying to come up with something unique here. Hang on to your Queen of Clean notes because we'll continue working on this example after the next lesson, which focuses on dramatizing what's different about a product or company.